Kit Kats can read.
Hey guys, it's Katie, welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my July wrap up. For the month of July I only completed 2 books. It is quite disappointing, but all things considered I'm proud that I did any reading at all, because that was a month that I was mostly moving and it was a very stressful month. I was busy packing every day, I didn't read every day, and I've only really just got back into sort of like reading again. So I'm grateful that I managed to get anything read at all. So the first book that I read and completed in the month of July was The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. So I finally got on to reading this. I was halfway through it near enough, and I put it down I think for a readathon, and then I've only recently sort of picked it up in July, and I really enjoyed this book. I found it really inspiring. I mean, I'm a white person and I'm reading about sort of like black people and just what they go through with sort of like police crime and with racism, and for me I just found it really inspiring, and I found it very difficult to sort of like share my views on this because I have a fear that I'll be like criticised because I'm a white person. But I just really enjoyed this book to the point of I just found it fascinating, and I just really want to read more books that are like this. So if you guys have any recommendations that are very similar to The Hate U Give, please let me know down below in the comments. It was just inspirational, which is why I enjoyed this book. So this is a story that is about Star and her best friend Khalid. He gets shot by a police officer when they're sort of like pulling up. I think they've got like a tail light that's gone, and the police officer shoots her friend dead. And so there's a trial against the police officer versus Khalid, and it's just about standing up, shouting, making your voice be heard, and just about the things that go with like family, and just how something like this can really affect you and the world and just their family and everything. And it's a dark sort of novel, but it's sort of realistic because this sort of shit happens in real life. But I'm glad that Angie Thomas wrote this book because more people should read it, and it totally deserved being like the top book of the year that it came out. I know everybody was reading it, raving about it and talking about it. I had it, and I don't ever like to read books that are really hyped during the time, but now I sort of wish that I did, because it was such a good book and such a good story, really strong, and yeah, I totally recommend it. And if you guys haven't read it, please do, I implore that you do. It was just phenomenal, and of course I gave it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The second book that I read in July was If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. So this book I actually bought and purchased in July, so it's actually a book that I bought and read near enough straight away. I was very intrigued by the story of this. This is about a man, and he has a cat called Cabbage, and literally the devil appears with a special offer. In exchange for making one thing disappear from the world every day, he can have an extra day of life. So the devil comes to him and he's just like, you have to take one thing away from the world, therefore your reward is getting another day of your life to live. And so he goes through, gets rid of things, like mobile phones or like TVs or things like that like technology wise, and then it comes to more trickier things, and it just has to make a sudden realization of, is his life worth it, or can he live without this thing? And it's a very interesting novel, and obviously it's got cats in it, and that's another reason why I got it. A cat called Cabbage, and it's a popular book that sold millions of copies in Japan, and yeah, it's definitely an interesting sort of novel, and yeah, I found it interesting. It's a very short read. The only thing that I sort of like picked up from this book is that, whether it's just from the translation or not, but it just feels like, because the man that's describing it, I think he says he's in his late 30s or somewhere in his 30s, and just how it's written is just, it's a little bit juvenile, just how he sort of like acts. So I don't know whether there's sort of a reason behind that. Maybe he's a little bit I don't know, like autistic or something, but it just seemed really sort of like how he was acting was a little bit on the childish side. and like how I was describing things was a little bit juvenile and stuff like that. That's the only thing I sort of picked up from it, that I was just like, okay. But I don't know if that's just because of how it was written, or like I say, it could be the translation. But I still really enjoyed it, and I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 Kit Kats. So those are the books that I read in July. August, I'm going to try and do a lot better. I am really behind my Goodreads goal, and I just need to just sort of pick myself up. I have been reading again, I have been audiobooking again. I have got myself back into reading now that I've pretty much settled down a bit. So I am doing all the reading requirements. It's just, you know, the fact that July was just a busy month for me, like with moving and everything. But, you know, like I say, I'm happy that I managed to get the reading done that I did, and I am going to be doing reviews on all these 2 books, as well as Chase and Lucky, which I had the end of June as well. So those 3 books will be reviewed, so you'll see those videos to come. I'm going to film them today as well, so you'll see full reviews on those books. Stay tuned for those. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments how you managed to do it in the month of July. How many books did you read? What was your favourite book that you read? What was your most disappointing book that you read? What are you planning on reading for the month of August? Are you participating in any readathons? Have you purchased any new books recently? Are there any books that you would recommend for me to read that you think that I would enjoy myself? But that's it from me, guys. All of my social media links are linked down below if you'd like to follow me elsewhere and be a friend with me. If there's any books you'd like to buddy read as well, I'm always up for a good buddy read. I enjoy reading books with other people. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!